Hello. So I'd like to talk about my new perfume that I got just the other day. It's Bvlgari Omnia Paraiba, I think it's pronounced. I've seen a few reviews on this and I don't think anybody can actually pronounce this properly, me included. But I did actually write down, according to the trailer, what it sounds like, and it sounds like Paraiba, Omnia Paraiba, or something. So I wanted to get something that is completely different than what I have at home and what I've used for a very long time, which is Poison by Christian Dior. And I kind of noticed that most of the scents that I've purchased over the years have nearly all have some sort of a vanilla scent, and that sort of flowery jasmine kind of note to it. And I wanted to get something completely different, and so I tried this, and I really loved it. At the time that I first tried, first impressions that I got was that it smelt very fresh, refreshing, cool, and it's kind of, to me, very gentle and but strong at the same time. I'll explain that more in detail in a moment. And I also noticed at first impression that it wasn't a particularly sweet fragrance. It does have a very small amount of sweetness to it, for my nose, but it also has that kind of, it's got a very tiny bit of bitter depth to it, and quite a bit of dynamics in just the layers of smells that I can detect. So that's kind of first impression of the Bvlgari Omnia Paraiba. And I kind of walked through, and also I got this for $60 from Chemist Warehouse here in Australia. And I think that's a really good deal, because I had a look at Priceline afterwards, and they were selling it for $110. So I was really happy that I actually bought it from Chemist Warehouse. So I walked around the chemist for about probably 15 minutes, because I've kind of seen a couple of reviews and things like that gave me a little bit of tips, to say, oh, you should sort of walk around and see what it smells like, instead of just smelling for a couple of seconds and then making the purchase. Oh, and also I'm sure that you know this already, but if you spray this onto cardboard, or spray any perfume, any scent, fragrance onto cardboard, it is drastically different. It can smell drastically different than on your skin. So it's always recommended that you actually try a perfume on your actual skin instead of just on the cardboard. So I like to probably just try it on the cardboard just to get a general idea of it, but when I make the purchase, I always try it on the skin, to get its more truthful smell. So after about 15 minutes, I actually nearly walked out of there without this, because I mean, it is really a beautiful scent, but probably the downside the only downside that I would personally detect, and I have a very sensitive nose, is that like, I know after about 15 minutes, I noticed this, maybe one of those, it's kind of like one of those stinging, very sharp, something is very sharp kind of a scent. It is strong, it's not overpowering, but to my nose, I can detect that kind of a sharpness to it that I initially didn't really like, and I thought to myself at the time, oh, you know, it's such a shame because I liked the first impression smell that it sort of gave off, but after about 15 minutes, it kind of gave off this more strong, sharp smell. And I don't know if that's because the sales assistant actually sprayed it very close to my skin. You know how I think I've heard that if you actually spray a perfume very close to your skin, it can actually distort the smell of the perfume. So you know, when the perfume is like, you can see it pooling around your skin. So maybe that was the reason, but like, I can still smell that sharpness in this particular perfume, but it's I have gotten either used to it, or it was just that it was sprayed too close to my skin. Anyway, that is probably the only thing that I didn't think was perfect about this particular perfume. Or I thought to myself, maybe it is just because I'm so not used to, you know, things smelling just basically different than vanilla. And I thought, well, you know, I'm going to take a chance and I'm going to get this. So I did. And I would say that lasting power would be the most pleasant of this perfume is probably within the first 2 hours for me and for my skin. You know, we're all completely different in body composition and hormonal, you know, chemical makeup. So it's going to last differently on your skin. It's going to smell differently on your skin. You know, that kind of thing. So for me personally, it probably is the most pleasant around about the first couple of hours within the first couple of hours of spraying it. And then after that, I personally have noticed that after probably the 2 to 3 hour mark, it becomes more of a scent rather than a fragrance. And I think for me personally, that scent that it kind of turns into after about that 3 hour mark makes it very, like, quite intimate. It is a far more intimate smell than you know, when you first spray it on, which is like, oh yeah, that's nice, and it's got depth, and it's got layers through it. But then after the 3 hours, it really kind of blends into this one, you know, very intimate smell. I can't really describe it any more than that. The next I wanted to mention is, and this is just my own take of fragrances, obviously, because you know, everybody's preference will be different, and how it makes an impression on you will be completely different. So for me, the emotions associated with this particular perfume, oh, actually, let me just I just wanted to say one thing about the practicality of this perfume. I'm not drunk yet. Is that the sprayer, like, this doesn't come off. This is where the sprayer is. This is where the spray comes out. And it can be quite, like, it doesn't come out as a nice fine mist. It kind of comes out in nearly droplets, and I think that's a little bit annoying. I mean, you know, I really love this bottle. It's a really cool design, you know, it's a nice design. but the actual sprayer is a little bit annoying for me because it kind of doesn't really come out like as a nice ocean breeze mist. But that's kind of the only other complaint that I have of it, of this particular perfume. I'll just maybe show you. I don't know if you can actually see this even. I don't know if you saw it. That's kind of that's kind of gone onto the table now. Like sometimes it doesn't even, you know, come out. So that's kind of the other. Just gonna like to waste. So there we go. This smells so nice. So the emotions associated with this, for me personally, is that it's refreshing. It's a cooling kind of a smell. For me, it smells like it's an in control. I don't know how I'm getting all this, but that's just how I would just describe it. In control, nonchalant, self-assured, focusing, awakening, mysterious, and distant. And I kind of describe it as, I suppose, distant, mysterious, self-assured, nonchalant, cooling, maybe because, you know, it doesn't have that kind of, you know, the warm tones that you would get from, you know, the vanilla type smells. And the flavors that I would describe it with would be sour, sweet, very slightly sort of bitter, musky, I don't know what, one of those types of qualities. That kind of quality that reminds me of like a more masculine kind of perfume, but not quite. Like if you smelt this on a man, you wouldn't say, oh, you know, that's a very masculine perfume, but it's more masculine than, you know, the Poison, which is like a jasmine, you know, vanilla kind of scent. So it's a sour, sweet, very slightly musky, bitter, with flowers, very fragrant, you know, that kind of fragrance that you get when you first get like a bunch of flowers and you lean in and it's that fragrant smell. And it's got more of a, how I would describe it, as a down tone, which is kind of like sour, bitter, earthy, you know, rather than the upper tones. That's probably not describing it too well, but, you know, like how I would describe up tones is sweet, vanilla, you know, that kind of fruity kind of smell. So, and you really have to run with me for this one. But the elements that I associate with this particular perfume are water, wind, and the ethereal, because it's quite a mysterious kind of a tone for me, and that's just personal, really. It's personal descriptions. I'm sure that you know, many of you might disagree. And I did actually have a little tiny bit of a look at the different ingredient list, or the tonal list that they described on the website. So they had Vetiver, I think that's pronounced Vetiver. And I researched a little bit. I probably couldn't even call it research, but Vetiver's calming, apparently. So it's calming, grounding on the emotions, and passionflower. That's the other main tones of this perfume. So passionflower, I read, may help adults manage anxiety. and mild sleep irregularities. So that's really interesting to me. And I looked this up after I've described it in the emotions that I mentioned before, of that kind of, cooling, sort of nonchalant, in control kind of feeling that I got from this perfume. And also it's got raw cacao. So cacao is not cocoa, by the way. It's not like, the cocoa powder that you make chocolate cake out of. Cacao, and I read that, found that apparently raw cacao doesn't actually smell like chocolate whatsoever, but it has a bit of an earthy smell. So maybe that's what I'm detecting with the down tone that I'm picking up, that slightly earthy, bittery, musky type, scent. And last but not least, I got my boyfriend to have a smell and have a try of this particular perfume, and he said that it's quite a strong scent. Said it's very strong, and he likes some of the more vanilla smells on me. But I think, like, if this perfume had a personality, I would say that it's like, she is quite a strong individual, who's not afraid to walk away from situations that doesn't suit her. And I'm just making this up really in my head, how I feel about this perfume. Might be complete, BS to you, but that's kind of how I see this perfume. And it was really interesting to actually read about the person who actually did the master perfumer who conjured up this perfume. His name is Alberto Morillas. And he was born in Spain in the 50s, and he attended School of Beaux Arts for 2 years before joining Firmenich in 1970. I have no idea what those places are, but it's really interesting because this perfume, because I know that my boyfriend, I picked out a perfume for my boyfriend not long ago, and it's called Acqua di Parma, and it's got, so it's just got a list of the perfumes that this man has come up with, and Acqua di Parma is one of the very first ones on the list. And this really reminds me of a feminine version of it, really. He's also done a lot of aqua type scents. He was the man behind CK1, which I remember from my teenagehood in the 90s. Don't tell anybody I'm that old. And he's done Giorgio Armani, Acqua di Gio. He's done, what else has he done? Givenchy, Gucci Bloom. So a lot of those kinds of aqua, but like floral, but like fresh kind of smells. He's done Marc Jacobs Daisy. He's the man behind that particular. He's the Nina Ricci range. I like this. It's really got qualities of that Nina Ricci kind of, very, very fruity. I don't know, fruity, cooling kind of smells, I suppose. He's done Valentino Bright Crystal. I haven't tried that one, to be honest. He's done a couple of Zara ones and a couple of Yves Saint Laurent ones, Versace ones. Versace Yellow Diamond. So anyway, that's really interesting. And this review has gone on way too long, as usually my videos go on for a very long time. Sorry about that. I am a little bit obsessed with this at the moment, so maybe that's why I'm talking so much on it. So just in as an ending note, be aware that passion flower is not passion fruit. They're not the same thing. And I read that passion flower, in a trial published by phytotherapy research, participants drank a daily dose of herbal tea with purple passion flower. After 7 days, they reported improvements in the quality of their sleep. The researchers suggest that the purple passion flower may help adults manage mild sleep irregularities. And some trials suggest that purple passion flower may also relieve anxiety. A study reported in the Journal of Anesthesia and Analgesia examined its effects on patients scheduled for surgery. Patients who consumed it reported less anxiety than those who received placebo. So that's passion flower. And I did actually try reading a little bit about the Bvlgari orange, and I really couldn't find much on it except a source recipe. And it said the name comes from a type of bitter orange. The Bvlgari, this orange has a rough greenish skin, is cultivated in the south of France, especially in the Nice region. The flowers of this orange tree is used to make orange blossom water. Orange blossom water. That's kind of all I could find on it. And apart from that, I think this is a little bit about the Vetiver. Says that it'll, if you rub it on your feet before bedtime, can promote a restful night's sleep. And when taken internally, Vetiver can support a healthy immune system. So that's not the perfume, by the way. Yes, please don't take the perfume, I hope not. But anyway, that is all that I wanted to say, which is a lot. I'm sorry, but if you're looking for a really nice, fresh, cooling, I would say it's kind of vibrant fragrance, something really refreshing, new, I would really recommend this perfume. So yeah, if you like the Bulgari Omnia Paraiba, let me know in the comments below. Let me know what qualities of the perfume you really like, and again, if you're as obsessed about things as I am and kind of go into a bit of a deep analysis of things, let me know in the comments below. Great, thanks for watching. Bye.